Objective Geology, multiple choice questions with answers. This is the solved question paper of Technical Assistant Mines and Geology 2000 question paper, and I hope this solved question paper is useful for various competitive exams like CSR, NET, GATE, GSI and other exams. Welcome to Set 2. Coming to the first question. The earthquake waves propagated between the depth zones of 2900 kilometers to 5100 kilometers are A. Only P waves, B. P and S waves, C. Only S waves, D. Only L waves. So the correct option is only P waves. At a depth of about 2900 kilometers, the P wave sharply decreases in speed, indicating that they are entering the core, and this boundary between the mantle and the outer core is called the Gutenberg discontinuity, and at about 5100 kilometers, P waves speed up, indicating another boundary, and this time between the outer core and the inner core. So only P waves, A is the correct option. Next question. The depth of shallow focus earthquakes ranges from A. 1000 to 1200 kilometers, B. 50 to 200 kilometers, C. 0 to 50 kilometers, and D. 600 to 800 kilometers. The depth of shallow focus earthquakes ranges from 0 to 50 kilometers. Shallow focus earthquakes ranges from 0 to 50 kilometers deep, and the depth of an earthquake is known as its focal depth. And earthquakes are classified based on their focal depth into three categories as shallow, intermediate and deep. Shallow earthquakes with a focal depth of 0 to 50 kilometers, and intermediate earthquakes with a focal depth of 50 to 300 kilometers, and deep earthquakes with a focal depth of around 300 to 700 kilometers. So the depth of shallow focus earthquakes ranges from 0 to 50 kilometers. C is the correct option. Next question. A volcano made up of alternate layers of lava and tephra is called A. Caldera, B. Crater, C. Shield volcano, and D. Composite volcano. So the correct option is D. Composite volcano. A volcano made up of alternate layers of lava and tephra is called as a stratovolcano because of due to the presence of layers, and it is also known as composite volcano. So D. Composite volcano is the correct option. Next question. Identify the volcanic product. A. Turbidite, B. Porphyroblast, C. Pyroclast, and D. Clastic sediment. So the correct option is C. Pyroclast. Pyroclastic materials are products of explosive volcanic eruptions that include pyroclasts. These are nothing but the fragments of magma and vent rock that range in size from ash to the boulders. And pyroclasts can be ejected from a volcano as jets, plumes, or ballistics. And pyroclastic fall deposits, these are the fragments that fall from the air and accumulate on the ground. So pyroclast is a volcanic product. C is the correct option. Next question. Which one of the following is not related to volcanic activity? The choices given are A. Cinders, B. Tuff, C. Lapilli, and D. Xenolith. So obviously D. Xenolith is not related to volcanic activity. Xenolith is a piece of rock that is trapped in another rock and is usually different in color and density from the surrounding rock. So D. Xenolith is the correct option. Next question. When a plate slides past another plate, the result is A. Transcurrent fault, B. Rotational fault, C. Transform fault, and D. Thrust fault. When a plate slides past another plate, the result is a transform fault. When two tectonic plates slide past each other, it creates a transform plate boundary or a transform fault, and this can result in shallow earthquakes. As the plates slide past each other, friction builds up and causes tension, and which eventually lead to shallow earthquakes. And offset structures, these are natural or human-made structures that cross a transform boundary, and these are split into pieces and moved in opposite directions. And little or no volcanic activity, no new crust is created or subducted, and no volcanoes form. So when a plate slides past another plate, the result is a transform fault. C is the correct option. Next question. The idea of continental drift was proposed by A. HHS, B. Arthur Holmes, C. Dutoit, and D. Alfred Wegener. Obviously D. Alfred Wegener is the correct option. Alfred Wegener has first proposed the idea of the continental drift in 1912, and Wegener is a German climatologist, geologist, and a polar researcher, and he proposed that the continents were once part of a single landmass that is known as a Pangea, which broke apart and drifted to their current locations. Question. In India, the occurrence of Permo-Carboniferous glaciations was identified by the A. Blaney boulder bed, B. Talcher boulder bed, C. Pinjore boulder bed, and D. Pulivendla conglomerate. So the correct option is B. Talcher boulder bed. The Talcher formation in India is the evidence of Permo-Carboniferous glaciation that has occurred about 250 million years ago, and the Talcher formation is the lowest layer of the Gondwana successions in India, and it is found at the base of all Gondwana basins. So the occurrence of Permo-Carboniferous glaciation was identified by the Talcher boulder bed. B is the correct option. Next question. The theory of compensation of mountain heights at depth is called A. Isobar, B. Plate tectonic, C. Isostasy and D. Rock cycle. The correct option is C. Isostasy. Isostasy is the theory that explains how the Earth's crust and mantle are in gravitational equilibrium and how this equilibrium controls the heights of continents and ocean floors. Next question. The depth of the lithospheric plates is marked by A. Gutenberg discontinuity, B. Lithosphere, C. Asthenosphere and D. Troposphere. So the correct option is C. Asthenosphere. The asthenosphere marks the depth of the lithospheric plates, and the asthenosphere, it is a mechanically weak ductile layer of the upper mantle that lies below the lithosphere, and it is located between 100 to 410 kilometers below the Earth's surface, but its lower boundary is not well defined. So the depth of lithospheric plates is marked by asthenosphere. C is the correct option. Next question. Collision of Indian and Asian plates is an example of A. Ocean floor spreading, B. Convergent margin, C. Divergent margin and D. Aseismic ridge. So the correct option is B. Convergent margin. The collision of Indian and Asian plate is an example of convergent margin. The Indian and Eurasian plates are both continental plates, and when they collided, the Earth's crust has crumpled and pushed upwards, forming the Himalayan mountains, and this is an example of a convergent boundary where two tectonic plates collide. So the collision of Indian and Asian plates is an example of convergent margin. B is the correct option. Next question. All water that is or has been in contact with the atmosphere in the recent past is known as A. Juvenile water, B. Connate water, C. Meteoric water and D. Groundwater. So the correct option is C. Meteoric water. Meteoric water is water that has come into contact with the atmosphere in the recent past and is derived from precipitation like rain and snow, and it also includes water from lakes, rivers and ice melts, which all indirectly come from the precipitation. So water that has been in contact with the atmosphere in the recent past is known as meteoric water. Next question. The origin of the Hawaiian chain of islands is due to A. Faults, B. Hotspot activity, C. Ocean floor spreading and D. Collision. The origin of the Hawaiian chain of islands is due to hotspot activity. The Hawaiian islands, they were formed by hotspot activity in the Earth's mantle, and the Hawaiian islands, they are the result of the repeated eruptions of magma from the stationary hotspot in the mantle, and as the Pacific plate moved over it, and the hotspot has been active for about 70 million years. Next question. Island arcs form due to collision of A. Continent and ocean, B. Ocean and ocean, C. Continent and D. Continent and islands. Island arcs form due to collision of ocean and ocean. B is the correct option. Island arcs are formed when two oceanic plates collide and one subducts beneath the other. And subduction means when two oceanic plates meet at convergent plate boundary, the older, that means the denser plate, will subduct beneath the less dense plate. And it is also due to partial melting. The subducting plate partially melts, forming a volcanic island arc. And a trench is formed. It is a deep depression in the ocean. It's called an ocean trench. And it marks the location where the plate is pushed down into the mantle. And island arc, it is nothing but a line of volcanoes that grows on the upper oceanic plate. So island arcs form due to collision of ocean and ocean. B is the correct option. Next question. The basic lithostratigraphic unit used in the stratigraphic classification is A. The choices given are A. Bed, B. Member, C. Formation and D. Group. The basic lithostratigraphic unit used in stratigraphic classification is a formation. A formation is a mappable rock unit with distinct upper and lower boundaries, and that can be distinguished from other units by its lithologic characteristics. So C. Formation is the basic stratigraphic unit in the stratigraphic classification. C is the correct option. Next question. What is the chronostratigraphic unit equivalent to geological time unit epoch? The choices are A. Stage, B. Series, C. System and D. Erathon. The correct option is B. Series. A series is the chronostratigraphic unit equivalent to geological time unit epoch, and yes, a chronostratigraphic unit, that is a subdivision of a system, and it is made up of stages, and series are defined by the age of the rock layers, and these are based on international conventions of the geological time scale. So series is the chronostratigraphic unit equivalent to geological time unit epoch. Next question. The concept uniformitarianism is due to A. Nicholas Steno, B. James Hutton, C. Charles Lyell, and D. Georgius Agricola. The concept uniformitarianism is due to James Hutton. B is the correct option. James Hutton, he was a Scottish geologist and naturalist who developed the concept of uniformitarianism, and it is a fundamental principle of geology. And uniformitarianism is the idea that the same natural laws and processes that operate today have operated in the past, and that these processes are sufficient to explain all geological changes. So B, James Hutton, is the correct option. Next question. All rocks older than 570 million years are called A. Precambrian, B. Archean, C. Proterozoic, and D. Phanerozoic. All rocks older than 570 million years are called as a Precambrian. And Precambrian, so this includes the Precambrian is the earliest period of the Earth's history, spanning from the formation of the Earth to the start of the Cambrian period, which began 570 million years ago. And the Precambrian is an informal unit of geological time that accounts for 88% of the Earth's geologic history. So all rocks older than 570 million years are called as a Precambrian. A is the correct option. Next question. The era between 230 and 65 million years is A. Cenozoic, B. Mesozoic, and C. Paleozoic, D. Proterozoic. So the correct option is B. Mesozoic. The Mesozoic era, it lasted from about 250 to 66 million years ago, and was a time of significant tectonic, climatic, and evolutionary activity. And the Mesozoic era, this is also known as the age of the reptiles or the age of the dinosaurs. So the era between 230 and 65 million years is the Mesozoic. Next question. Identify the Proterozoic formations of peninsular India. A. Dharwars, B. Aravalis, C. Gondwanas, and D. Kadpas. So the correct option is D. Kadpas. Kadpas are the Proterozoic formations of peninsular India, and the Kadapa basin is a crescent-shaped basin in southern India, and it covers an area of 44,500 square kilometers, and it is one of the largest intracontinental basins in India. And this Kadapa basin, it was formed during the Proterozoic period, and the significance is the Kadapa basin is considered one of the most important Purana basins in southern India, and it's also important for understanding the evolution of Precambrian basins in India and the assembly of supercontinents globally. So D. Kadpas is the correct option. Hope you have followed the content and the questions, and hope you can subscribe to Explore Geosciences. See you in the next video. Thank you for your time.